A warm welcome to all of my family. You are now tuned into WIIFM. What's in it for me? The station that shows you how to be the best you that you can be simultaneously through being better to everyone else. Him he is. That's right, I am Simeon Robinson, and I'll be your conductor on this crazy train as we learn life lessons through love.
Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. You are now listening to WIIFM. That's right, what's in it for me? I am Simeon Robinson, and I will be your conductor today. Today, I want to talk about the essence of love, and this will be a part one. I want to be able to show you how to love yourself and love everyone else better. So before we start, I want to ask you a few questions. Number one, what is love? Where is love? How do you find it? And are you worthy of it? I want you to keep those questions in mind because I will revisit them later. So let's start with what is love? Love is defined as both a noun and a verb. Love as a noun is an intense feeling of deep affection or a great interest and pleasure in something. Love as a verb means to feel deep affection, to like or enjoy something very much. Now that we know what is love, where is love? To answer that question for yourself, you have to ask yourself, where are you looking? Where are you looking for love in or for or from? And where are you avoiding or afraid to go to find love? Is it the pain? Is it the trauma that you're avoiding? Is it the people that you refuse to talk to or the situations that you refuse to bring up? The next question is, am I worthy of it? We'll save that answer for later. And the last is, how do I find it? You don't. You cultivate it. The word find as a verb means to discover or perceive. However, that is by chance or unexpectedly. To cultivate something means to apply oneself to improving or developing. Now, I don't know about you, but it sounds a lot better to apply oneself to improve and develop rather than to wait and to find something just unexpectedly happen to you. Because usually when something is unexpected, you are not prepared for it. So when that love does come and you don't prepare yourself for it, it becomes a lot harder to accept it, let alone reciprocate it. The Greeks have 8 different kinds of love, and I will run through those with you very quickly. The first is eros. It's a romantic or physical love. This word embodies desire, passion. This is the more physical act of lovemaking. It is the root of erotic. Philotia means the love of self or self-love. It comes from the word phileo and autos, literally meaning self and love. This is one of the most complex, and it is a fluid line between positive and negative. The next is pragma. This is practical or compatible love. This focuses on similarities or shared thoughts and goals between 2 or more people. The next is philia. This word represents friendship, shared beliefs or values. This one can be attributed to belonging to a group, a team, a demographic, if you will. Then you have storge. Now this one is the one for families. This is familial love. You have ludus. This is a fun or playful love. Now, however, that might sound good, but this love is uncommitted. So in today's term, this would best be attributed to a situationship or friends with benefits. That is not the love that we want. You then have mania. Now, this is an obsessive or possessive love. This is usually attributed to extreme or intense emotions, dependency, constant need for reassurance or validation. We do not want to give this love or receive this love either. And I saved the best for last because this is the love that Christ gives us, agape. This word is used as giving, contributing, love of all mankind or humanity. This is a selfless love. This love is considered the greatest because it is unconditional. This is the love that God as the Father and Christ as the Son shows us. So now that we know a little bit more about love, how do we cultivate love? The answer to that is you must learn, and you must start by learning your loves. You need to know the what and the how to know why. You need to be able to experiment. You need to be able to step outside of your box to figure out what you love, to figure out how you love, not just how you give love, because that's what we all focus on. How do you receive love? I'm sorry, not just to receive love, because we all focus on receiving, but how do you give love? And can you change how you give love for different people? Or are you just going to make people accept how you give love And that is the end all be all. And one of the best books, at least until I publish my fourth one, that I can give you to start on the foundation of love is The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And in the next 3 months, you'll have to look forward to Learning Life Lessons Through Love by yours truly. So then you can help that more. But after you learn your loves, you also must learn your hates, because it is a thin line between love and hate. And sadly, that line becomes even thinner the less so many people are living a life with things that they do not like, doing and saying things that are not them, because they have been preconditioned and predisposed to accepting this and thinking that this is the only way. This is not love. This is not thriving. This is merely surviving. You are not living. You are just being alive. So you are not in love with anything or anyone. You just have love. And those are two very different things. You want to be in love with something or someone because that is when the determination, that is when the consistency, that is when the dedication arrives. You do not have that if you just have love for something, because that is always taken for granted. That is always pushed to the side. That is always second. And it shouldn't be. Your love, especially for yourself, should be first. And if it is not, then it becomes a lot easier for you to make excuses and for you to live a lie that you have created yourself or that has been created for you because you do not understand your loves or your hates. And after you understand your love and your hate, you must understand your fears. What scares you? But more importantly, why does it scare you? A lot of us have fears that are irrational. A lot of us have fears that have been given to us, and we don't even know why we're afraid. We've never even tried it. We've just heard other people tell us not to do certain things because when they tried it, they failed. And now we have become so afraid of failure that we've allowed other people's failures to stop us from even attempting. So what scares you? I don't want to hear about what scared your mom. I don't want to hear about what scared your father. I don't want to hear about what scared your 6th grade teacher. What scares you? Because until you figure out what scares you, it becomes really hard to figure out why you are afraid of something. If you don't know what, you cannot understand the why. And if you don't understand either of those, it becomes a lot harder to love. And the funny thing is, fear and love are oxymoronic. One man cannot serve two masters. So either you want to give love or you are afraid of giving love or receiving love. But having that fear in your heart will temper that love every single time. So if you don't know why you are afraid to have love, to receive love from a person or from a thing, a lot of people are afraid to even go after their dreams because it no longer excites them. And they don't understand why they've allowed the fear to override every single thing in their life. So again, you have to understand your love, your hate, your fears, and your dreams. Are your dreams what you are afraid of? Or are your dreams what push you? Are your dreams what make you live the life that you live now, good or bad? And if not, why? Are you living the life that is pushing you closer to your dreams every day or every week, every month? Life is hard and we don't always have the time or the will to do these every day. But as long as you're pushing closer to your dreams and your goals, and more importantly, the purpose that has been bestowed upon you, then that is fine. But if you don't understand what you are afraid of, then it becomes hard to understand what you love. And if you are afraid of what you say you love, you become an oxymoron and you're defeating yourself. Nothing else is outside defeating you. It is what is inside that is not allowing you to really exude everything that is inside to the outward world. And your dreams should be what push you, not pull you. Your dreams should be what try to push you up, not pull you down, not pull you to the side, not pull you away. Your dreams, your goals, your purpose, your loves, the things that make you feel alive instead of just living should be what you focus on. Not your fears, not your traumas, not your pains, but it's so hard for so many people to let that go. And it becomes even harder if you don't have the will to fight for your dreams, because the trauma isn't just going to stop. The emotions and the pain and everything that you have to go through will not stop until you make them stop. And choosing to be the best you that you can be involves love. You cannot be the best you for you or for anyone else if you don't have love. Number one, love for yourself, because the Bible says the greatest commandment is to treat everyone the way, and even better, that you would treat yourself. How can you live up to that commandment if you don't love yourself? How can you do what Jesus has told you to do if you cannot love yourself? So, in order to love yourself, you have to understand what you love, what you hate, what you are afraid of, and what you dream about. And then after you understand those, you have to understand your flaws. You have to learn your weaknesses. And a lot of people don't like to learn their weaknesses because it makes them feel weak. But learning your weaknesses is a strength. By the end of this year, I will have my professional bodybuilding card. And in the gym is where I feel the strongest, yet the weakest. Because every single time it is time to go to a new weight that I have never done before, that is when I'm reminded, I don't know if I can do this. And that thought is what stops so many people from even attempting. If I never would have failed in front of dozens of people, dozens of times, I would not be as strong as I am physically, but more importantly, mentally. Those weights are just an identifier of the struggles that I have to overcome in myself. So many people have so much more in them, but they're afraid of, I don't want these people to see me fail. Guess what? They don't care about you. They don't love you. And you need to love yourself enough to be willing to say, hey, I might not succeed at this at first or at second or third. But when it's all said and done, because I love myself and I love what I'm doing and I love the purpose and I love the goals and the dreams that I am chasing, I will get it done. So don't worry if it's first, second, third, or fourth. Don't worry if it's gold, silver, bronze, whatever the case may be, because there is no race. This is a marathon. And the only person that is on the starting blocks is you. So you have to understand, what are your flaws? What do you need to get better at? For me, when it comes to perfecting my body, at least, I got to do more legs. I got to do more rear delts, and not being afraid to actually allow someone to coach me, not being afraid to actually spend more time on the things that make me feel less than, or the things that make me realize I do need help. And so many of us are afraid to seek help, let alone from people, but from God. If we think that we have all of the answers, if we are afraid to search out and seek out our flaws, then it becomes very, very hard for us to get past the stubbornness, for us to get past the pride. And you cannot have both of those if you want to have love. You cannot be stubborn when you want to have love, because the only love that will work at that point is agape. The only love that will work at that point is the love that is unconditional and the love that is unceasing. And this is the love that God gives us. So this is the love that we should be striving to give to ourselves and to give to others. And you do have to understand, when searching for your flaws, you have to search for your scars. And traumas are unhealed scars. So are you still picking at something just because it's itching you? Are you still picking at something just because you can't get it off your mind? Are you still picking at something and you're wondering why this scar is not going away? This scar is not healing, because every single time that it comes to your mind, this is what makes you go back to it. This is what makes you go back to the reality that you should have escaped from, but your mind won't let you escape that time or that place. That is because you're too afraid to search for your flaws. You are worthy of love, but you have to understand that for yourself. And then after you understand your flaws, you have to understand your body. Learn how your body reacts, whether it's yoga, whether it's the gym, whether you need to diet, whether you need to do whatever you need to do, because it's very hard to want the best for your heart and your mind if you're not doing the best for your body. I will give you this quote. Your mind is clouded because you are not giving sunlight to your body. A great man once said that. I'm that man, but it doesn't make it any less great. And after you understand all of this for you, you then have to do the same for them. And them could be your family. Them could be your friends. Them could be your coworkers. Them could be the people at your church. Them could be the people that are around you. Because now that you understand how to love yourself better, this will give you the tools and the arsenal to love other people better. So you have to do the same thing with them. When you understand what you love, you can understand what they love. How do they love? And what do they love? Again, one of the foundational books that I will recommend is The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. Until I release my 4th book, Learning Life Lessons Through Love, I would suggest you read on that. You have to understand their dreams. Do they have dreams or goals anymore? Or did they already quit? Because it tells you a lot about a person when they have quit on the things that they say make them happy, because they will not care about making you unhappy. They will not care how the words and the actions they do to you make you feel, because they don't already feel good about themselves. They have already given up on the things that they say will make them fulfilled. They've already given up on the purpose that has been bestowed upon them. So how can you expect those very same people to see the purpose and the calling in your life? They've already given up on theirs. It doesn't make sense. So you have to love yourself first and stop looking, or do not look for that validation or that reassurance in someone else, because that is usually a clear sign you need more work on the love of yourself, your love and your dreams. Then you have to understand their fears. What walls do they have? What biases have they formed from fear? A lot of people are afraid to try because they're afraid to fail. And they were just one failure away from success. It only takes one success to change the 10 failures. But most people are not willing to fail 10 times, because the first time it hurts. The second time it hurts more. And every single time that happens, you now have a compound effect of failure if you allow your subconscious to do that to you. Instead of understanding that, cool, I got this, no, but I'm still going to go to the next house and I'm still going to ask the same questions. I'm going to learn from what I didn't do well this time, and I'm going to do it better next time. There's 100 houses in this area. Are you willing to go to every house, or are you just going to stop on the block just because the entire block told you no? That might not be your block. So you have to get outside of your comfort zone. You have to get outside of the area that makes you feel good. And that is what a lot of people are afraid of. Oh, I don't know this area. I don't know these people. I don't know how they act. It doesn't matter. Do you know how you act? And if you know how you love, and if you know that you have the best interest for yourself and for others, that fear will subside. And then you have to understand their traumas. Have they, or more importantly, will they heal from what ails them? Because a lot of times we are being the virus and we are expecting ourselves to be the cure as well. You have to stop hurting yourself. You have to stop killing yourself in order to heal yourself. You have to understand what the virus is. You have to understand what that ailment, what that sickness is, whether it's in your mind, whether it's in your life, whether it's in your family, whether it's in your job, whether it's in your area. You have to pinpoint what that is. And you have to understand that a lot of other people have not done that themselves. So you have to give them grace. You have to give them patience, and you have to give them mercy. But you cannot do that to them if you have not done it for yourself. It's okay to fail. It's okay to lose. It's okay to not win. But at the end of the day, the only way that you don't win is when you give up. The only time you don't win is when you stop loving. The only time that you do not win is when you stop loving. And before you stop loving other people, you do have to understand you stopped loving yourself before that moment ever happened. So now that you understand yourself, now that you understand them, you have to understand us and how we all as a race, as a gender, as a community need to unlearn the old in order to learn the new. So many people are afraid to learn new things because they refuse to unlearn old things. Oh, this is the way that we've always done it, even if there is a better way that is possible. You have to understand the biases, the fears, the excuses, and the anchors that are holding people down, because everybody thought that Titanic wouldn't sink. That's the pride. That is the stubbornness to say, oh, we have built this, we have fortified this in such a way that nothing can get in. So when we see something small, we don't understand how big it is underneath. And that is why you need to understand your love, so you can see the iceberg that's under the water in your own heart, in your own mind, and in your own life. You have to understand, how do you best interact? This is the third piece of the triangle when it comes to love. How do you best interact with people? Are you an extrovert? Do you like talking? Believe it or not, I don't. I'm a man of very few words, so that is why I have learned to articulate myself, and I have learned to be exudant of the things that I know that are most important. So you have to learn how you best interact with people so that you can best show up for them and to best present yourself. Because the way that you dress will be the way that you are addressed. So how do you feel about yourself inside first? And what are you covering yourself with on the outside? You have to learn how others love. Accept how they love when you find out. It might not be the way that you best receive love or that you're used to receiving love. But a lot of people don't understand what love is, whether it's the definition, whether it's the action, because they've never seen it. So will you continue that trend, or will you be the person to show them what love is? I asked you earlier, what is love? The answer to that is me. The answer to that is you are love. And you have to show that every day and in every single way. And if you don't, you are not living up to the commandment that was set upon you. Treat others how you would like to be treated. And if you aren't treating yourself the best, how can you expect to treat anyone else that way? And understand that acceptance does not mean participation. What helps you should not hurt someone else. And you learn to communicate your boundaries. You learn to communicate your level of respect. You learn to communicate your expectations, whether they are small or whether they are lofty. But you learn. And after you learn, you can better communicate and you can better reciprocate when other people have their boundaries, when other people have their ways of loving and communicating. So never stop loving and never stop learning. So I asked you questions earlier. What is love? I am love. Where is love? Love is in you and around you. It is everywhere that you cultivate it. How do you find love? Again, you don't. You cultivate it. And the last question, am I worthy of love? Ask yourself. Number one, do you love yourself? And even if you don't, I promise it's okay, because I've been there. It's not always going to feel good and it's not always going to be good. But even if you don't love yourself, know that there's two people that love you. I'll be the second, but the first is God. And understand that he loved you enough with the agape love to sacrifice himself for you. And that is the love that I choose to exude. So until next time, you can follow me on TikTok at KING.SIMIEN, King Simeon, and tune in every Friday. I will be here, same time, same channel, and I hope that this will be the start of something great. So until next time, I pray that this message reach you. I pray that this message teach you. I pray that you have been engulfed in the love that I am sending you. And more importantly, I hope that the words that God has given me have reached your ears, your mind, and your heart. And I hope that you have an amazing day, and I hope that you have an amazing weekend. Until next time, my name is Simeon. This has been What Is In It For Me, WIIFM, and we hope you tune in next week. Thank you.
I pray that this message is delivered to you. Even if it is not downloaded immediately into your spirit, I hope that you have this in the arsenal of your heart when you need it. I will be here every Friday, noon Pacific, 2 Central, 3 Eastern, to continue to give you love, information, motivation, inspiration, and everything else that I can provide. So until next time, I love you. See you later.